Finally, I found one. 2023 Ford F250 with the 7.3 liter. Now most of you guys know I've already done some 7.3 liter tow videos, but not with the revised 7.3. Here are the numbers on the door. This truck does have a gross axle rating out back at 6,340 pounds, 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating, 3,142 pounds of payload. This truck is an extended cab with a long bed, and it has a class 5 receiver hitch, which was revised for 2023. So now my big chains can get in there. And here's the trailer. This is a 28-foot, 8.5 wide race trailer, spread axles. I also extended the tongue on this too. Let's see what's inside. We have the car inside the trailer, and we have these wheels and tires, and the generator. So pretty much the exact same I've done for every other truck. 9,600 pounds pretty much. So we're pretty much at gross vehicle weight rating for the trailer. Let's go ahead and hook up and get down the road. You probably could tell it dropped a good bit. 3 1/4, and we are pretty much at those bump stops. Let's go and get down the road and see how it tows. This truck is available at Larry H. Miller Super Ford, and they have it priced at $51,228. I didn't mention it in the video, but it does have a 373 locker out back, and then this is the original MSRP of the truck right there. All right, here we go. So when it comes down to this test, you guys know I did a test on the 6.8 liter, and it was a little bit warmer that day. I truly believe that the best temperature for towing is like in that 60 to 70 degree range. When it's too cold, I feel like the truck doesn't do much better, and I've done some testing on that in the past, just for myself basically to know that. But yeah, overall, this truck only has 12,000 miles on it. I hear a little bit of a squeak inside there. I think I fixed it. It's on the dash. But yeah, this truck has 12,000 miles, and it's a year old, and it's a long bed, so it's gonna have great stability. What I'm looking forward to on this test is to see how well it does going up the grade in comparison with the 6.8. Now, as I said, I know it's not the same day, it's a different temperature, but I think for certain it won't do much better than 6.8, and we'll see. I could be wrong. That engine has 405 horsepower. This one has 25 horsepower more. But overall, I mean, when you use a truck like this, I mean, these tests are almost too easy. Like, I get back to the end point so much quicker when I tow with an HD or Super Duty. When I use half tons, it probably takes me on average another 10 to 15 minutes more to complete. And that's because when I'm going down the grade, I'm going a lot slower because you can really feel the trailer pushing the truck. But with this one here, I mean, there's no side-to-side motion. It's just a easy truck to drive. And despite it not having the diesel, obviously gas engines have less weight, which means they're gonna tow a little bit different compared to their diesel counterparts. Having the longer wheelbase makes this truck feel really good. It's probably a little bit longer compared to a crew cab with a standard bed. I'm not really sure, I would have to confirm it, but I'm willing to bet you this is probably maybe a little bit longer. If not, it could even be the same, because that crew cab, is actually pretty big compared to this super cab here. Now right now it's saying I'm in 8th gear, and that's what I love about the 7.3. The 7.3 has more horsepower, has more torque, and I feel like because of the 10-speed, you have more power in each gear. So I'm just rolling on at 70 miles an hour. I don't feel like I need to go any faster. I don't feel like the engine needs more power to maintain this speed. And that is what's so good about this 7.3 displacement engine. Like, I feel like it has more than enough power, and that's why I keep saying I think GM needs to step up their game on the LAT. I feel as though even though Ram has less horsepower, somehow the power delivery is really good on that engine. And if they were to add another 30 horsepower, I mean, it would be game over. I think it would outperform this by a pretty good margin. Now, if you do need to pass one wide open throttle, it dropped down the 4th from 8th. You don't even feel it. And, you know, it's a gas engine, so there's no forced induction, so it does take more time to get this big sail up to speed. You know, even though we're doing 70, I didn't even make it to 75 miles an hour on that little pull. But yeah, the mirrors on the truck, I didn't extend them out. A lot of people always ask me, do you ever think that buying these high trim level trucks are just not worth it? And I would venture to say, yes, they're still worth it to me, because I like the power mirrors. I like to be able to push out the mirrors, and you don't have that function on this lower trim level truck. I believe this is an XLT. And you know, something else, this truck does have 360 camera, by the way, which is pretty interesting, but it's on a small screen, so you can't really see anything, so it's kind of pointless. So here are the RPMs. So we're in 7th gear. I will switch over to the speed too later on, but yeah, we're going 68 miles an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and let off a little bit because we're going down a little bit of a decline here. But you see how it's holding the gear? I like the fact that it's not feeling the need to switch up to a higher gear, because, you know, I'm kind of maintaining the speed here. Now, if I hit it again, this is wide open, there it is. So it dropped down to 5th, then it dropped down to 4th. We have pretty good power delivery. Let's just see if I can maintain 65 here. We're gonna go around a little bit of a curve. Oh yeah, the stability on this truck is amazing. Here's the wheels and tires. These are the Bridgestone Duelers, 18-inch wheel, and it's a LT 275/70/18. And as far as the capacity for the tires go, 3,640 pounds at 80 PSI. I always put this disclaimer in all my videos because people have a lot of theories, thoughts, things like that. I'm higher above elevation, number one. Probably at this point, we're probably over 5,000 feet. And on top of that, this trailer, even though it's only 9,600 pounds, it's a sail going up these grades. I've actually towed this trailer empty on the same route back in Maryland, and then I towed with it with weight, and it actually got the same fuel economy. Now, going up the grade, it would probably do better unloaded to get up to speed, but it would still struggle a little bit, especially if there's a headwind. Sometimes a headwind can really dictate how well a truck performs too. But yeah, overall, I think that a lot of people are really tired of the diesel emission stuff, and that's why these tests become so popular. That's why so many people have decided to say, let me just try a gas truck. I even tried one. I wanted to see if I could do it. Now, for me personally, I like diesels. I like the turbo. I like the sound. I like the power delivery, and I'm willing to deal with the small issues that you will have inevitably. As I've said in the past, if you can't get a diesel under load at least, you know, a couple times a month, like I always tow my trailers anyways, I like to keep them moving. And for me, I don't mind dealing with the emission stuff, but at some point, hopefully, we can start doing some weight loss program, if you know what I mean, to be able to take off some of that crap that's just obviously just destroying our diesel engines. I mean, so many people are just tired of it, and that's why I like these tests, because it does remind even myself that a gas truck is not just getting the job done, it's doing a great job doing it. And it does everything you want it to do. I mean, granted, if you're trying to tow 20,000 pounds, this truck might struggle a little bit. I mean, let's just be honest here. 20,000 pounds behind a gas truck, I don't think I would ever want to do that. I don't think I would want to do that outside of a, you know, low gear dually, personally. But yeah, all in all, this is a great truck. We should be to the grade in about 5-10 minutes. I'll turn the cameras back on and show you guys how it does. So here it is, 7.3 liter. Now, if you don't know, for 2023, they did do some revisions. It basically has upgraded piston rings and water pump for more efficiency. And it is a push rod design, and it's putting out 430 horsepower and 485 pound-feet of torque. All that power goes to a 10-speed transmission as a 10R140. Let's see how it climbs. All right, you guys ready? We gotta drop down to about 55. All right, here we go. 60, there it is, 55. By the way, transmission was at like 212 degrees on this normal drive here. Come on. Oh man, this car won't let me get over, guys. Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. Get over! Wow. What are you doing? Like, wow, my gosh, man. People, oh. Sorry, guys. That sucks. Literally, she had an open lane. Very frustrating. So we're in third gear. Back and forth. Still holding at 45, well actually about 4,700 RPMs. Come on. It gets really steep in parts of this grade here. It probably goes up to like almost like a 7 or even an 8% grade. But you know, it got back up to speed pretty darn good. 73. Wow. This engine is actually doing about what the diesels do. Not bad. We're pretty much at the top here. Wow. So yeah, 40 degrees outside. It did really good. So yeah, the temperature obviously is going to help it, but I'm glad I still did this test because now you guys can see this truck performs extremely well. I don't remember what the 6.8 did, so I'll have to probably revisit that video in the future and just kind of put all this info together. But overall, you have to admit, this truck did phenomenal. And in case you wanted to see the temperatures, that's where we are. Fuel economy is right here. We're at 4.3 MPG. I don't think you guys will be able to see it, but about 142 on that rear axle. Those headers are like 613. Let's see, intake, manifold, about 195 down there on those heads. Intake on this side, that's nice. Wow, 63 degrees, pretty dang good. I just want you guys to know, not having four-wheel drive or a locker, watch this, I'm literally stuck. I'm spinning on one side, can't get out. Let's go ahead and turn on that locker. Watch this bad boy do its thing. You see that? This is why I don't understand why people don't get lockers or four-wheel drive in their trucks. It's a no-brainer for me. Literally, I could have probably backed up and gotten out of there, but it's the principle for me. You know, I just like to have every tool in the arsenal I can, that way I don't have to have a frustrating trip. All right, so we're going 70. Let's go ahead and start tapping. Oh yeah, Haha, yes. It's a great transmission. There it is. I am pushing the brakes, unfortunately, because I have to slow down more. But look at that. It dropped down all the way to third gear. I still have to slow down more because there's a truck going really slow in front of me. Now let's go ahead and get over though. Wow. Do you see that right there? I went up to about 57 from 56, but that's okay. It's just maintaining at 57. This passes the test because in the past, the transmissions won't drop down gears. So this is a 10R 140, and it does what it needs to do. I mean, at the very least, it is going up in speed a little bit, but it's holding the gear and it's keeping me at a safe speed going down this grade. And in case you're wondering, transmission's holding steady at 223. Engine oil is 173, so, oh, I'm sorry, that's engine coolant. Engine oil is 203. But this is the only negative about gas trucks, is you're gonna hear that engine screaming a lot more so compared to the diesel, because the diesels don't RPM nearly as much as these do. Here we go. We ended off at 36.3 miles, 6.8 MPG. What are your thoughts? My thoughts are, this truck did amazing. Now, despite it not having the 430, I've yet to tow with one with a 430. That's the only thing that's missing right now, is having some content with that truck, but who knows, maybe I'll get lucky in the future. But the 7.3 is the best gas engine in this segment, guys. Not because of the horsepower and torque, but because of how the power gets delivered. On top of that, the 10R 140 is a better transmission under load. I feel like this transmission is not that great when you're just cruising around and load it, but once you put a load behind it, it's really good. As far as stability goes, even though this is a 3/4 ton, has a 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. You guys did see earlier that it had the overloads, but they didn't even make contact. Normally, after you drive down the road a little bit, the suspension does settle a little bit more, but it's pretty much the exact same. And yeah, having the longer bed, it's just a great truck to tow with. I really commend Ford for taking this segment seriously. The other two did just enough to keep competing in the gas engine segment. Ford did more than enough. They added more horsepower and torque. They have multiple options. They have, different gearing options. They just did a great job with this. And a lot of people are happy with this engine. And if you want more horsepower and torque to kind of make it compare better to a diesel, if you add headers, intake, exhaust, tune, I mean, you could probably get this truck pulling like a diesel for sure. But I hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. As I've said in the past, these videos are really hard to do. So when I do them, support them. Later.